Hey, what is going on, guys? XpertFusion here, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a breakdown for the second half of Season 9 trailer that came out directly after the episode aired just a few nights ago. And this trailer shows off a lot, and you can kind of piece together a lot from this trailer, which is pretty awesome. A lot of exciting stuff coming. I mean, after that incredible episode, especially that incredible ending, a lot of great stuff coming. I'm going to be doing more prediction videos in the future, more breakdowns, more sort of, I guess you can say, because they're definitely going to do another trailer for the second half. They always do 2 trailers. They come out with another one, usually closer to January, leading into February. So we'll probably get another trailer later down the line. But for now, this is all we have, and it looks incredible. I'm going to kind of break down scene by scene, let you guys know what I think about what's going on, what's happening. I'm going to be doing death predictions, maybe the heads on the pikes, who I think is going to get those death predictions, because I already did that before, but that was before Season 9. Now, after seeing 8 episodes, my opinions have drastically changed, so I'll definitely do that again. But let's get into this. So, starting off, we have Michonne, Daryl, Dog, and Aaron, and all of them. They're coming back from, where they just were. And as you can see in the back left, you can clearly see Jesus his dead body is right there on the horse, so they're taking him back to bury him, of course. And as you can see right here in the front, that is Lydia. That is straight up Cassidy McClincy as Lydia. Now, what I'm curious, I thought she was going to be blonde. I mean, I know the actress doesn't have blonde hair, but I thought they were going to dye her hair, but they didn't. Which, honestly, I don't even care. I mean, that's kind of a small nitpick. Like, it would be nice if she was more comic accurate, but who really cares? It's just a hair color. I can deal with it. I can deal with it just fine. So they're bringing her in as prisoner. I'm assuming we see in the beginning of episode 9 they're still fighting off more Whisperers, and one of the Whisperers they leave wounded on the floor, and maybe like Daryl's about to kill her, but then she yells out, please don't kill me," and then they take her captive to kind of learn more information. Letting you guys know, this is not based off any spoilers. I'm just simply based off comic material and this trailer itself and just overall predictions. I have not seen spoilers for the second half, so I don't know what's going to happen. So these are not based on any spoilers whatsoever. I don't want to stay the fuck away from spoilers because they've spoiled enough for me this first half, and I would like to keep it a little bit more surprising for me. But then we get Yumiko and Aaron right behind them as well on the horses. Well, not on the horses, they're just carrying the horses right now. Here we have a funeral that they're having, clearly for Jesus, and everyone's kind of surrounding by it. Obviously, the community loved Jesus a lot. That's why Jesus' death works so well, because you needed to... It's such an interesting idea, because Hilltop is kind of like the main focus when it comes to who's in the biggest, position of threat when it comes to the Whisperers, because the Whisperers come to Hilltop. They're the ones who come to Hilltop in the comics, not just in the show, because obviously we can see it from the trailer that they do come to the Hilltop. But when Jesus was their leader, right? They made Jesus their leader on purpose because they knew they were going to kill him off, right? Now, if what happened with Tom Paine, because there's a lot of stuff behind it, if that didn't happen, maybe they wouldn't have killed off Jesus. I don't know, because there's a lot of stuff going on with Tom Paine. He was complaining that he didn't have enough screen time, and I think the writers just got pissed at him, probably said, you know what, you stop being a bitch, and we're going to find a way to kill you off. That could have happened. I don't know. But it fits the story, so it's not like it's just out of nowhere or there's no impact to it. I think it works very well. Would I like to see more Jesus? Yeah, but it's The Walking Dead. Stuff happens. People die. That's how the world works in the show. So when it happens in the show, as long as they've done their part, there's the death that was actually impactful to the story, and if I felt like they didn't have any more story to go for, then I'm cool with it. Completely cool. So I'm cool with Jesus' death. Now, especially after learning about how distasteful Tom Paine was, according to different interviews and stuff like that, towards the showrunners and towards the writers itself. But they're obviously doing this, and Jesus was their leader, right? So when you have their leader dying like that, it's so much more impactful, because they're like, holy shit, we have this threat right outside our gates, and we don't have a leader. Like, it's not like there's Rick or anyone, or Maggie's not around, so obviously Tara's probably going to, be the leader of this community now, but they don't have an actual main leader. And that feeling is obviously, it's terrifying. And for them, I'm sure it is more terrifying like that. So killing Jesus, I think, was the best choice out of all those people that were actually at the cemetery. So they could have killed off some random red shirt that we don't care about. They could have killed off a small character like DJ or something, but they didn't, because they they didn't feel like it would be impactful. And Jesus is impactful. The start of a new villain, you need to do an impactful death, just like Negan did with Glenn and Abraham. So then here we get what we're probably going to see in the beginning of episode 9. They're surrounded by the Whisperers, and they're getting ready to fight them off all together, hand in hand. I'm really excited for that sequence. I hope it's badass. Here we get one of the coolest freaking shots of the trailer, just a Whisperer just standing there, just looking creepily. Now, I don't know who she's looking at. I'm assuming at them, Alden and Luke are chilling in the woods. I think they maybe go on a little run somewhere. I don't know what they're doing, but they do seem like they come across Whisperers. And I'm assuming they're going to be kidnapped by the Whisperers. The reason why I say that is because in the comics, 2 characters were kidnapped by the Whisperers, and they were used as a trade bargaining for Lydia, because they captured Lydia and they want Lydia back, and they take these 2 captive. Well, not in the comics. They take 2 other people captive in the comics, but we'll have to wait and see how that works in the show. We have this right here, which is obviously 2 Whisperers looking at the hilltop, actually directly calling back to one of the comic issue covers. I believe it was 137, 136, something like that, around 130 something. I'm not 100%. Can't remember it off the top of my head, but there was a comic cover that completely relates to this right here, so I'll put that up on screen, and that's awesome. I love when they recreate comic book images. Here we have Alpha walking up to the gates of Hilltop, trying to go ahead of her people because obviously she wants to be in front. And then we have Lydia here talking to Henry through the gates. Can't wait for their conversations. The Lydia Carl story is one of my favorites in the comics, and I don't know what it is. I just really liked it. So when I heard, Carl was dying, that's why I was frustrated. I was really pissed when Carl died last year. But then as time went on, I was like, okay, maybe Henry can replace it. But I was like, the Henry actor, I don't really like him that much. And I'm like, maybe Judith can replace it, but like they won't have like, a love relationship. And I'm like, maybe Enid will. I don't know, but they wouldn't have that love relationship there. So I was kind of pissed. But then when I found out they were going to replace Henry with an older version of him, because they're going to do like a 6-year time skip, I was really happy, and I was really excited to see the Lydia story arc on screen, and that's exactly what we're getting here. Because honestly, I think Henry's miles better than Carl, than TV Carl at least, in terms of his acting abilities, and in terms of just my overall enjoyment of watching the character on screen. So far he's only been in 3 episodes, and I've actually really loved watching him. So Henry and Lydia, can't wait for their conversations in the cell. Can't wait for everything that happens with them. I wonder if they're going to make Lydia as goddamn frisky as she was in the comics, because she was a frisky motherfucker. She was like, literally first second they were out of the cell, she was like on top of Carl trying to fuck him. And, I don't know if they're going to do the same thing, but they might. Honestly, I kind of don't know if I want it to be in the same way, because it was a little weird, but at the same time, I don't know. Especially because it was like, they were children, right? They're like, I think she was 16 and Carl was like 15 maybe in the comics, but in here I think Henry's like 17, she's like 18. I'm basing it off the actors for this. I don't know exactly what their ages are meant to be, but you get the idea. But I've seen some of her work in other shows. She's a really good actress, so far I think Henry's a great actor. So I think this is going to be an amazing story, and I cannot wait to see it unfold in a very meaningful sort of a way, especially with everything that happens later on. Oh my god, if we get that hilltop attack that happened in the comics and Lydia and Carl were just eating up, just murking Whisperers, hope we get that with Henry and Lydia. And here we can see Daryl, and Lydia's in the background there in the cell, and Daryl's walking away. She's kind of pissed that she's getting locked up, and Daryl's just like, nope, I'm not helping you. You can stay in here and deal with it. So that's cool. Then we have Daryl here. I believe it's going to be like, because in the comics, it's like Maggie and Jesus. They're the ones who are kind of dealing with Lydia. They're kind of talking to her, kind of giving her, I guess, telling her, asking her questions. And this, I think, is going to be remixed with Daryl and Tara, or maybe Daryl and Michonne, one of them. I think they're going to be the ones talking to Lydia. And then obviously here we have Daryl going down to talk to Alpha and the rest of the Whisperers out here. And if you think if you weren't a comic book reader and you don't know how big the Whisperer group is, these are not all the Whisperers. If you think this is the whole group, don't think that, because trust me, anybody could think here, couldn't they just take out some guns and just mow them down? These people don't have guns. Just go out there and just light them all up. Well, first of all, that would be completely that would be a massacre. That would be murder. Yeah, I know the people killed one of your people, but is that really right to kill all theirs just because they killed one of yours? No, but because people don't think these people are a threat just because of the fact they don't have guns, but that's not the case at all, man. They are threatful. Honestly, the Whisperers are kind of like a mix between the wolves and the trash people. Kind of like a mix between them. And a lot more terrifying and a lot more cool. That's all I'll say if you haven't read the comics. And here we have a shot of the kingdom. Obviously, this is the fair. They're getting ready for the fair. I thought the fair was going to be like the finale, but since usually these mid-season trailers for the second half usually are for like the first 4 or 5 episodes, I think we're going to get the fair a lot earlier. And I just noticed this. I actually did not notice this before. Now just looking at it now. Look at that like Shiva statue in the top right on the balcony over there. That is amazing. Oh my god. Okay. For a second I was like, wait, is that a real tiger? I was like, is Shiva back from the dead? But then I was like, no, it's a statue. That's amazing though. The fair is gonna be really exciting. Now this part confuses the hell out of me. Who the hell is this cowboy looking ass walking into town, and what is his importance to the story at all? He's just walking in here looking like a freak. I don't know what in the hell this is the only part of the trailer that I'm like, I don't remember this from the comics, and I don't know if I'm supposed to. I don't know. I can't wait to see a lot more of the kingdom as well. We're gonna obviously see a lot more of that this second half, because we didn't see much of it in the first half. Carol here is talking to Ezekiel. Then we have Carol, Jerry, and Diana and some other dude just getting their bows ready. I don't know who they're fighting here. I'm assuming it's other Whisperers in some case. And right here, people notice this mistake right here. They're holding their bows, but there's no arrows. I think the arrows might be CGI. Maybe they're just practicing. I don't know. I really don't know why there's no arrows here. I don't think they would have made that big of a mistake. Maybe they used CGI arrows and they just forgot to put the CGI arrows in, or they just mistakenly made it so they didn't show up in the trailer. I'm sure they're going to fix that for the actual show, if that's actually the problem that there is there. Here we have Tara and Magna's group walking down the road. I find this kind of interesting because the 3 girls in front here are all lesbos. Yeah, and then we have Cal in the back. Ooh, that's Cal chilling back there, as well as Kelly, and probably more people in the back that we know, but we can't see from this angle. I have no idea what they're doing, but, you know, I like Tara. Tara's the one character people hate, but I'm like, bro, I like Tara. I think she's a great character. People got to give her a chance. Here you have Gabriel and Rosita. I still don't know what the hell kind of a relationship this is. I don't know why they did it, but there's got to be reasons behind it. Personally, I think it's because Gabriel's going to be dying this season, because they wanted to do something with Rosita, and they wanted her to have a relationship with Gabriel and end up killing Gabriel, so Gabriel's death felt really impactful. That's why I feel like they did this relationship. I feel like there's no other reason why they would do this relationship. Or Rosita will die, but at the same time, with Rosita dying, they could have just made her go out with Eugene, and then it would be really impactful for Eugene. So, I don't know. Gabriel is an interesting character. He's had some ass this season, apparently, but maybe girls are into priests. Maybe I should become a priest. I don't know. But here we have Judith. Finally, we get to see more Judith. We haven't seen her much this season, other than episode 6. When I say much this season, I meant like the new Judith, not the younger Judith. We see her. I think they're paying respects to whoever's dead here. Probably Carl or Rick. I don't know who they bury here. I mean, obviously they didn't bury Rick because they don't have his body, because Rick ain't dead. But maybe Carl is buried here. I don't know. But maybe it's just a burial site for the both of them, just to pay their respects. And that's awesome. Here we have Daryl opening up the cell down to the, prison in Hilltop. Then we got Michonne and Sadiq talking. They've had a really good relationship this season so far. I don't think it's a love thing. People are saying they're gonna get lovey-dovey. I don't think they will. I really don't. I don't think they're gonna do that. Not every relationship has to be lovey-dovey. That's why I always, whenever people said they wanted Carol and Daryl to get together, I'm like, no, keep the relationship just normal. We don't need romantic relationships, to justify the fact that they love each other. That's not, it's not how it works. I think you can be very, very lovey-dovey with someone and not have it in that sort of a sexual way. So Sadiq and Michonne, they seem like they're really good friends at this point, but having having a relationship just wouldn't work, especially the fact that Rick is still alive. If Rick was dead 100%, that'd be a little different. I know she doesn't know either way. She's pretty sure Rick is dead at this point, but I just think for our sake, for the audience's sake, it would just be really weird to have Sadiq and them have a relationship while we go and see the Rick in his movies. It would just, I don't know. I feel like they wouldn't do that. Not that I'm opposed to it, but, you know, it's just, I don't know. Here we have Ezekiel and Carol just talking. They were talking before, probably the same shot. I don't know what happened with Ezekiel. I don't know why he's so upset about something. Maybe about Henry being off on his own. I don't know. Here we have the coolest shot of the entire trailer of this. When I saw this, my dick got like 2 inches harder. Beta in the goddamn flesh. Now, Beta comes a lot later in the comics. He's not like introduced right away like Alpha and the Whisperers are. They kind of wait a while. It's even after the whole sort of beheading. I think it is, right? After the beheading. Pretty sure. But here, obviously, they're revealing Beta a lot earlier, which I'm pretty happy about because Beta is such a fucking cool character, and I think his comic counterpart, or his TV counterpart, is going to be incredible. Just looking at him here with the beard, with the hair. Oh my god, he's amazing. Then we have Daryl fighting him. I'm so happy they're having that happen. I really hope, because I think what happened here is Henry went out to find Lydia, just like Carl went out to find Lydia in the comics. And Daryl's like, fuck, I got to care about this kid because, you know, I care about Carol, and Carol cares about him, so now I gotta care about this kid. I gotta go out and find him. So he goes out and tries to find him, and he goes out into the Whispered Land, and Beta comes across Daryl and gets pissed off. He's like, why the fuck you in my land? And he's gonna attack him. Daryl's gonna attack him back, and they're gonna get into a fight, and it's gonna be the coolest fight of the entire Walking Dead history. I cannot wait. Just look at this. This is amazing, dude. Just look at that. Look at that. Boom, boom. And then he lifts him up. He just goes and just oh my god, he just cracks him to the wall. I hope Daryl gets his ass beat. Part of me hopes that Negan actually saves him, and then Daryl, I don't know what the hell they'll do after that, but I really want Negan to have something to do with this fight here, personally. I don't know why Negan would be there. Then we have a shot here of Michonne slicing something. Now, the interesting thing about this is that this is Michonne's old hairdo. This is not new Michonne. This is Michonne back from the first 5 episodes, right? So this is probably a flashback. Now, I don't know if they're going to do a flashback episode or if they're just going to do one singular flashback scene, or if it's going to be... I personally would not mind if it was a whole episode. A lot of people would probably hate that because they're like, oh, it's a bottle episode. Ugh. But if we need... You know, if this conflict is this important because they're not talking to each other, I think a flashback episode actually would be just fine. It really would. And what is it? This is my theory. I had a theory in my review, and I don't think it really turned out to be the exact way I think it is, but this is my theory. I'm going to tell you guys right now. So I believe, it's not based off spoilers, it's not based off the comics, because this never happened in the comics, so just hear me out. This is my theory. I believe that Oceanside, because Oceanside and Saviors obviously had their problems. Obviously, Oceanside was killing some of the Saviors. That was a problem. Saviors found out, and they got pissed. They got in a little conflict with each other. Probably some of them died. We don't know because we didn't see that whole little shootout that happened at the end of episode 5. Or in episode 4, and then it went into episode 5. But we know a lot of people died. We know they all just came together to find Rick afterwards. Now, that gunshot, that shootout that happened, that was a shootout that attracted the walkers that inevitably killed Rick, right? Indirectly, not completely, you know, is a reason, not killed Rick, got Rick killed in their opinion. He didn't actually die. We know that, but you know what I mean. Like, Michonne thinks he's dead. So, Michonne would end up finding out eventually that Oceanside was killing the Saviors. She'd realize Oceanside killed the Saviors. Killing the Saviors is what got Rick and Daryl into a fight. Rick and Daryl into a fight got them into that hole. Rick and Daryl into that hole got them into getting injured. And in some way, she's going to just look back at the first thing to blame, because people do that in grief. When they're in grief and they're pissed and they're mad, they're going to look at the first person to blame because they don't want to believe it. They don't want to believe that Rick died for nothing. She doesn't want to believe that. She does not want to believe that he just died blowing up a bridge. You know, she doesn't want to believe that. She wants to blame someone. She wants to put blame on it, just like she put the blame on Andrea's death towards the governor. That's why she was going out looking for the governor forever, trying to kill him, because she wanted to just end it. She wanted to end anyone who had anything to do with it, even though he didn't directly kill her, but he kind of did. It was the reason she died. So maybe that's the same way here. She wants to kill whoever was in charge of this whole thing. and that would be Oceanside. That would be Sydney. We have not seen Oceanside since episode 5, or really episode 4. We have not seen anything of them. Now, I'm not saying Michonne went out and killed all of them. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying she confronted them with anger and maybe killed one of them. Maybe Sydney, maybe Beatrice, I don't know. And maybe we're going to see that in this episode because that's maybe who she's slicing right here. Maybe she gets really pissed because she just lost Rick. She just lost the love of her life. She just lost the person she's going to have a kid with. I mean, I don't know if she knew that at the time, but I'm actually really excited for this flashback episode now because imagine the amount of revelations we're going to get in this episode. I don't know what episode it will be, but I'm really hoping we get that, like a whole episode, now that I'm thinking about it. Maybe Michonne finds out she's pregnant in the episode, and we get to see her reaction to that. Oh my god, that would be amazing. We get to see Maggie again, maybe, because... No, that's not going to happen, because they did confirm that Maggie's last episode was episode 5. But because she was contracted for 6, that's why I was thinking that, but at the same time, no, that wouldn't work. But you get the idea. We get to see returning characters in their old form, and we get to see exactly what the hell happened. And we get to see Michonne still in her grieving state. I think it would be a great episode, and it could work just fine. And I'm actually, now that I've thought about it a little bit, it would work. I think it would work, and I'm going with that theory. I think she killed someone from Oceanside. That got the groups into a major conflict, but they obviously weren't going to kill each other because we're all family, right? But they didn't know what to do with Michonne. They didn't know what to do with her. And Alexandria kind of backed them up. Hilltop didn't. Hilltop was pissed because she was part of Hilltop. That's probably why they're such split now. And then Michonne said, I don't want anything to do with you guys. I want my community to be part of my community. I want you guys to be part of your own groups. And we got to stay like that. Obviously, what Rick wanted just can't work because, you know, what happened happened. So I think that's a good theory. I went on for way too long. Here we have Negan returning to the sanctuary. Cannot wait to see Negan in all his badassery at the sanctuary. That's going to be so exciting. I don't know what he's holding here. It's like a stick, but like it just... Oh, man. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.